Hello, my name is Dante Renee from the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1980's Ball Game. 1980's Ball Game, and this is put out by Caballero Classic Series. And if you look at my other reviews from a couple years back, there was a review for Six Swedes Behind Bars, which was the Erwin C. Dietrich cut of this film right here. This is the full original cut, original X-rated hardcore cut of the film entitled Ball Game. The hottest game in town, it says here. It's the Beavers against the Dicks in Ball Game. Now, Ball Game has such a slew of amazing people in it. We have Lisa DeLue, Mike Ranger, Susan Nero, which I don't see enough of, Jennifer West, Candida Royale, Connie Peters, lots of people. Some people I've never seen before, and it's produced and directed by Ann Perry. Now, one of the things I want to note here is that if you check out my review for Six Swedes Behind Bars, which was part of Erwin C. Dietrich's Six Swedes series, because there'll be some similarities between the two videos, so this one and for that one, but there will also be some differences because I haven't seen that version in a while, so depending on what I say here about the music and such. Now obviously in Ball Game it's a longer film and it has full hardcore, from ejaculation to oral sex, penetration, all of that, the full cut right here, whereas Erwin C. Dietrich's cut for Six Swedes Behind Bars didn't go the full distance. It had some weird, interesting boundaries and rules, sexually speaking. So let's get into Ball Game right here. Really, really love this film. I actually have the lobby cards for, both films, I guess, but Six Swedes Behind Bars are the specific lobby cards I have, because good luck finding lobby cards for hardcore films. I don't know. I don't know if you can find them, but that's Lisa DeLue on the cover there, which is interesting because she is not in that gear in this film. Other girls are. She's not actually in the sports gear. Ball Game is such an interesting film because it's a women in prison film. It's also a kind of sex comedy, and also kind of political comedy, and also a sports sex comedy. Okay, so we're having all that together. You think of the teen sex comedy Hots, which I've done a video for on this YouTube page already, and you kind of have a hardcore version of that here, mixed in with those other subgenres as well. And of course, this is a women's prison, and we have female guards and male guards. And we even have a political figure in the film who's trying to be mayor. We have some sight gags. We have gags with photographs, gags with mysterious, hidden peepholes in photographs. The biggest cigars I've ever seen in my life. I guess they're real cigars. They're freaking huge. I don't know if they're expensive or not. We really are in the prison for the entire duration of the film. I mean, there's this couple outdoor, a couple shots of the prison from the outside, and a couple seemingly, like the baseball field and some hills, some training sequences and stuff that are supposed to be outside of the prison. But I will tell you that this is really within the prison, within the cells, within it's just dingy quarters, really, really dingy. A dingy dinner table with a light bulb hanging from the ceiling. I mean, just everything's very, very dingy. One interesting thing to note in this women in prison film, there are no shower scenes at all, which is really interesting. And there's no violence in this film. But what we do have is guards taking advantage of the girls, the inmates, and we also have the inmates taking advantage of the guards in a way that is very similar to a film that I've looked at on this YouTube page before, the first of the trilogy of cheerleader films, Cheerleaders. Kind of in a way, a similar plot point in the way that they do it here in Ball Game. Now, we also have prostitution, We have kind of a feminist twist to the film as well, where, you know, kind of a gender war, women versus men, but we do definitely have a feminist twist in this film, which is really, really interesting, especially near the climax of the film. Music-wise, we have sections of the film, small sections of the film that maybe just have natural sounds, but for the vast majority of the film, we have unbelievable, groovy, funky, awesome 70s sounding porno groovy music, but with the craziest sci-fi 2001 Space Odyssey synth sounds that I've ever heard in an X-rated film. We also have some darker music, some orchestrated music. We have some kind of dramatic music that you would hear in kind of a 70s TV show. We also have some quirky, goofy music you would hear in a teen sex comedy film. And we also have actual songs that were written just for this film involving the characters in the film, the team names, kind of the plot points of the film. There are about at least two like songs and even a cheer. There's a training sequence in this film. If you are a fan of girls in prison, or if you're a fan of girls in really skimpy baseball gear, or if you're a fan of tons of girls in prison setting, lesbian scenes, and then multiple girls on one guy, and girls just kind of taking over the film. In many regards, Ballgame is a very female-dominated X-rated film, without a doubt. And that's definitely a lot of the beauty of the movie. If you love lesbian sequences, if you love girls training with their legs spread, if you like oral sex through prison bars, and such a great cast of female and male stars from the golden age of porn right in this film right here. It's unbelievable. What a cast in this film. And I got to tell you, one of the weirdest, craziest sequences of multiple girls on one guy with a ton of vibrators that the girls are using on the guy. So really, really crazy stuff there. Lots of great dirty talk in the film. The girls look like they're really getting crazy and having a great time in this movie. There's lots of different varieties of just it's wild female-dominated sex action in this film, definitely. And we also have a lot of interesting, you know, funny dialogue sequences and deals and furloughs and all of this stuff kind of wrapped in there. There's a furlough plot point in here, a work furlough plot point in here that was similar to in a way, another film that I looked at on this YouTube page called Prison Girls 3D, which was originally released in 3D, not a hardcore film, probably, you know, be considered today an NC-17 film, but there's a similar plot point with work furloughs in this particular film, which was interesting. The Dicks versus the Beavers. And if you love Candida Royale, you're going to love this film. If you love Lisa DeLue, you're going to love this film. Lisa plays a unique role in this movie, a side role, but an important role to the storyline. This is a really fun, sexy, yet grimy, sexy women in prison film. The girls, you know, are not wearing any panties throughout the entire film in their prison gear. And if you like flip-flops, you're going to love it in here as well. If you love grimy, dirty, kind of crazy settings and toilets, you know, a lesbian sex scene in a toilet stall over a toilet, you're gonna love this. This is definitely a unique, awesome film, mixing all those subgenres together. This is 1980s Ballgame. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like Ballgame. Please feel free to check out all my other reviews on this YouTube page, as well as my own personally made films at vimeo.com. patreon.com/poopy diarrhea, Poopy diarrhea. Thank you so much, and good night.